We have worked with Uganda previously in a threshold program, which is the smaller of our two investments. But we are not working with Uganda now because Uganda does not qualify, it doesn't pass our scorecard.
Why doesn't it pass?
I have the scorecard here.
You tried to help it reduce corruption, for example?
Control of corruption is an issue in Uganda. And I would encourage, I'm not going to be able to get to all the information, and I would encourage anyone who's listening or watching to go to our website at mcc.gov, and we have our scorecards posted there, and you'll be able to see how countries are doing. But Uganda does not pass the scorecard, and we cannot work with them. At the same time, we had a very successful threshold program in Uganda, a smaller investment. We have a very important bilateral relationship between Uganda and the U.S. government, but it isn't the place where MCC is currently invested.
Now, briefly, what is the difference between threshold and compact?
Yeah, thank you, Shaka. Very good question. The threshold programs are, as I said, smaller. They're over a 2 to 3 year period. And usually threshold countries are countries that don't quite qualify for compacts, the larger investments. They don't pass the partner, or the countries don't pass the scorecard. And so we determined that they are close, but not quite there. And so we will work with them in a threshold program. And the idea is that they're on the right path, but they're not quite at a place where we can work with them as a compact country. Whereas the compacts, the larger investments, are over a 5 year period. They're larger amounts of money. Those countries pass the scorecard, and we can have a more vigorous, focused investment over that 5 year period.
What about giving us some examples, for example, of a minimum figure in as far as threshold is concerned, maximum, and minimum figure for compact and maximum so far?
Well, it's a good question. We don't have
just the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood, certainly. For threshold programs, they're usually between, they could be upwards of 20 million. And maybe a little higher. It really depends on what work there is to do in that country.
Right.
Whereas the compacts can be anywhere from 90 million, anywhere from 80 million, upwards of 700 million over a 5 year period. So we're talking about a substantially larger amount in the compact programs. And as I said, and as you're aware, and as I know our viewers and our listeners are well aware, that like other countries, the U.S. is going through a more constrained budget environment. And so as we are making decisions about investments in our partner countries, we have to be mindful of what money we have to share with our partner countries. And so the numbers, we don't have exact figures on what we will share with the partner countries, but certainly the numbers are smaller because we have smaller amounts to in our budget.
I see. Well, the lifeline of the show again from Tanzania. Good evening, Agre. You are most welcome to Straight Talk Africa.
Oh, thank you. Good evening, Shaka.
I am terrific. How are you today?
I'm very good, Shaka. I'm just wanting to add from what my friends have been talk about from Uganda. And just as you said about how could this organization make a follow-up of the money which they are giving? My first question. And another question is, we've been here from the different organizations, but some countries in Africa are not qualified, they're very corrupted. But still, the same countries are being given the same money for their projects. So we get a little bit confused.
I see.
But you hear the countries has got a third part from the last.
For example,
the same country.
For example, which country is corrupt and is the recipient of the MCC compact?
Well, I'm just mentioning, for example, how does this MCC follow up? Because IMF can say that country is corrupted.
Thank you.
Other organizations, which are the watchdogs, they say some countries in Africa are very corrupted. At the same time, they get money.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I guess his question very simply really is that you say when you are selecting countries, you don't select those that are corrupt. But in his opinion, there are countries that are corrupt, but at the same time are recipients of your aid. Any evidence of that?
Well, we certainly recognize that people have very strong opinions about what is corrupt and what isn't corrupt. We base our decision and our determination on the third-party indicator that I shared that we use. It's calculated by the World Bank and by the Brookings Institution, and then also by supplemental information like Transparency International. And that's how we make our determination as to whether a country is corrupt or not.
Can you tell us about, for example, the most recent case of Sierra Leone?
In Sierra Leone, yes. Sierra Leone is one of our partner countries. And the board of directors, our board of directors, made a determination a few weeks ago when it met for its quarterly meeting that Sierra Leone is not passing the control of corruption indicator. And so our board of directors made a determination that while Sierra Leone has made very good progress, it was Sierra Leone and Benin, it was the two countries, that while both countries have made good progress, that there is a concern about the fact that they're not passing the control of corruption indicator. And so what our board determined is that we cannot use our resources from fiscal year 2014 to spend on those countries. We will continue to work with them in a limited manner so that they can continue to develop a compact, but they can't use 2014 funds because our board determined that they would not vote on their reselection. So good progress, they're making progress, but they're still not where our board determines that they need to be in terms of passing the control of corruption indicator.
Thank you.